This video is exactly what you clicked for. A 33-year-old motorcycle rider pronounced clinically dead for minutes. Keep in mind, who says he left his body, watched strangers as moving geometric shapes, and then met Jesus before having a conversation with an animal that he still can't explain. And the twist? He came back with a brain that worked so differently, doctors couldn't even label it.
I want to tell you about something that happened to me years ago. And I didn't talk about it for a long time because I thought people would hear it and just file me under crazy. My name is Ethan Cole. I'm 33 now. This happened when I was 29. And before you listen to a single detail, here's why I'm not some internet storyteller trying to impress you. I'm the kind of guy who used to live inside numbers. I worked as a systems analyst, the boring kind. Risk reports, auditing, troubleshooting. I'm trained to be skeptical. And after this happened, I got tested and scanned and interviewed more times than I can count, because my brain didn't come back the same. So if you're still here, good, because the part I'm about to describe is the part that changed my understanding of reality. And if you've ever wondered what it feels like to actually leave your body, not dream it, stay with me, because I'm going to tell you the exact moment it happened, and the exact thing I saw that I couldn't have known. It was a normal day. That's what's so messed up. It wasn't some mystical retreat. It wasn't drugs. It wasn't seeking enlightenment. It was a Tuesday. I'd gotten off work late. I remember thinking, I'll just take the bike, quick ride, clear my head. I had this old habit where I'd take the longer route, more open road, less traffic. The weather was perfect, warm, dry, and I was in that calm headspace where you're not thinking about anything too heavy. And then I saw headlights. Not in front of me, on my left. A car was turning when it shouldn't have turned. That half second where your brain tries to solve the impossible. I squeezed the brakes. The back tire fishtailed. The world did that slow motion thing. And then the impact. I didn't feel pain right away. It was like my body went silent. I remember the sound, metal, plastic, that cracking pop that makes your stomach drop. Then my helmet hit the ground, and everything went white. But here's what most people don't understand. The crash wasn't the crazy part. The crazy part is what happened after I should have been unconscious. There was a moment, this is hard to describe, where I was both in something and outside of something. Like reality had two layers and my awareness slipped between them. 1 second I'm hearing distant screaming, a horn blaring. Next second, I'm above the scene, not floating like a ghost in a movie, more like my point of view moved upward without my body moving at all. I'm looking down at my motorcycle like it's a broken toy. I'm looking at a body in the road. And it took me a second to realize that body was mine. And I wasn't panicking. That's the strangest thing. I should have been terrified. But I felt calm, clear, almost curious. Like, oh, so this is what this is. I could see people running toward me. I could see a woman on the sidewalk holding her mouth, frozen. But the visuals weren't normal. This is where it gets weird. Because the people didn't look like people anymore. They looked like something else. Something my brain still doesn't have words for. At first, I saw everyone normally. Then the scene shifted. It's like the image simplified. People became geometry. Not cartoons, more like energy organized into shapes. One man sprinting toward me had a sharp, triangular feel to him, like urgency and fear formed points. Another person, an older woman, looked rounder in my perception, like a soft sphere. And here's the part that still makes my skin crawl. I didn't just see shapes. I understood what the shapes meant. Not in language, in instant knowing. The sharp shapes had anxiety. The round shapes had empathy. And the strangest one, there was a guy near the curb, still watching, and he looked like a rigid cube. controlled, detached, maybe in shock. And I remember thinking, is this how we really are under the skin? Then I noticed something else. My body on the road, didn't look like me. It looked like a machine that stopped working. A paramedic arrived. I heard a radio crackle, and yet the sound wasn't coming through ears. I just knew what was being said. Unresponsive. No pulse. Start compressions. I watched them work on me like it was happening to somebody else. And right when I expected darkness, I felt a pull. Like a magnetic force grabbed the back of my awareness. I turned without turning. And there it was. A light. Not a headlight, not a sun. A bright point, but it didn't burn. It didn't glare. It felt like intelligence. And I was drawn to it like gravity decided my soul had mass. The accident scene shrank away. The road, the people, the shattered bike. All of it became irrelevant. I moved toward the light, and the fear I should have had dissolved. I was warm. I felt accepted. And then, moment of no time, I wasn't traveling anymore. I was somewhere else. And if you think the light was the big moment, it wasn't. The big moment was the presence waiting for me inside it. I want to say this carefully. I didn't see a stained glass painting. I experienced a presence so specific, so unmistakable, that the name arrived in my mind before I even questioned it. Jesus. Not judgmental, not angry, not distant. The closest comparison I have is this. Imagine someone knowing every ugly thought you've ever had and loving you anyway. That kind of love does something to you. It melts your defenses, your shame, your pretending. I felt like my chest opened, like I could cry, but it wasn't sadness. It was relief. And the communication wasn't words. It was meaning. You're safe. You're seen. You're not done. And I, being me, immediately tried to argue. I thought, why would I go back? Look at what's happening down there. And the response was calm amusement. Like, you don't understand how much your life matters to other people yet. And then Jesus did something that completely broke my understanding of consciousness. He shifted my attention to an animal. This is the part people always laugh at first. But I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating. I became aware of a dog, a real dog, at the accident scene. I hadn't noticed it earlier. It was a medium-sized dog on a leash, pulling, barking, frantic. Its owner was trying to hold it back. But in this space, this other layer, the dog's panic came through like clear speech. Not English, not words, more like emotional sentences. It was saying, over and over, hurt, hurt, pack member hurt, need help, need help. Why still? Why still? I understood it perfectly. And I sent something back. Again, not words, but reassurance. They're helping. It's okay. And the dog calmed. Not instantly, but noticeably. Its frantic energy softened. And I remember thinking, so communication isn't language, it's direct meaning. Jesus didn't explain it to me like a lecture, but the sense I got was, everything is connected. Humans just forgot how to listen. And then, like a curtain pulled back, I was shown something about my own mind that made me want to stay there forever. In that presence, my mind didn't feel like my mind. It felt expanded, like someone removed a limiter. I could hold multiple thoughts at once without confusion. I could see cause and effect chains like they were visible lines. I'm not saying I became a superhero in the moment. I'm saying my awareness had a bandwidth I didn't know existed. And I was shown, quickly, how I'd been living. Overthinking, tight, fearful, always trying to control outcomes. And the message was basically, you've been using a candle when you were built for daylight. Then I had what I can only call a download. I saw patterns, not mystical symbols, real patterns. People, choices, consequences, and how tiny decisions reshape entire lives. And I understood instantly why certain moments in my past happened. Not God punished me, none of that. More like, this led to this, which saved you from that. And right when I wanted to ask 1,000 questions, I heard it. The sentence I didn't want to hear. The message came through firm. You have to go back. And I thought, no, absolutely not. Then it came again. You have to go back. I'm like, mentally, are you kidding me? I'm finally home, and my body down there is wrecked. Third time, you have to go back. And the moment back landed, I felt myself being pulled downward like a hook in my spine, and I need you to understand this. Leaving the body felt like freedom. Going back felt like being shoved into a cramped wetsuit, on fire. I slammed back into sensation. Pain exploded. Air burned. I coughed, deep, violent, involuntary. I heard voices like they were underwater. Stay with us! Come on, breathe! I opened my eyes and everything was blurry and harsh and loud. Lights, faces, sirens. I tasted blood, and I remember crying, not because of pain, but because I'd been pulled out of something perfect and dropped back into density. They loaded me into an ambulance. I drifted in and out, but my awareness stayed oddly sharp, like my brain was awake even when my body wasn't cooperating. ICU, surgery, a broken collarbone, cracked ribs, internal bruising. They told me later my heart stopped briefly on the scene, and I shouldn't remember anything, but I did. And this is where the story turns from spiritual experience to my life became unrecognizable, because the changes didn't fade. After I healed, people expected me to be normal. I wasn't. My memory changed. I could recall conversations almost word for word. I started seeing patterns in data instantly, like my brain grouped information automatically. At work, I began solving problems faster than I could explain. I'd look at a spreadsheet and just know where the error was. Not guess, know. It freaked my boss out. I started reading and retaining everything, not in a bragging way, more like I couldn't turn it off. And here's the part that scared me. I started sensing people differently. Not mind reading, not magical. But I could feel when someone's words didn't match their internal state, because I'd already seen humans as shapes. I'd be talking to someone and I'd get this impression, sharp, jagged anxiety, or soft, warm sincerity. It made small talk impossible. And animals started reacting to me differently. Dogs would stare at me like they recognized something. Cats that hated everyone would sit near me. I don't tell people that usually, because I know how it sounds. But the biggest change wasn't the brain stuff. The biggest change was what happened to my fear of death. I stopped living like life was a limited resource. I stopped saving love for later. I called my dad and apologized for stuff I didn't even know I was carrying. I became calmer in conflict, because when you felt that kind of peace, anger feels small. And I started helping people quietly, not preaching, just showing up. Because the message I took from that presence, Jesus, was simple. Love is the point. And the weird thing is, I became happier. Even with the pain, even with the nightmares of the crash. Because deep down, I knew something I didn't know before. This isn't the whole story. And when I remember the dog, panicked, trying to protect its human, I remember that connection is real, not metaphorical, real. So if you're still watching, here's what I want you to hear, especially if you're afraid right now. I'm not here to convince you of my interpretation. I'm just telling you what happened to me. I left my body. I saw people as geometry. I met a presence I can only call Jesus. I understood an animal without language. And I came back with a mind that doesn't work the way it used to. And if you take one thing from this, take this. You're more connected than you think. And love matters more than we act like it does. If you want more stories like this, real, structured, no fluff, leave a comment saying, "I'm still here," and subscribe.